Game 6, Table 1 of the Retro League. It's Chris Bing against Joe Herbie. So Near Noob is Chris Bing, and how did we get into this mess is Joe Herbie. So Near Noob already put up the table, and yeah, I'm waiting for Joe to join. Maybe he waits until I give him a ready. So just if you wonder why I don't have a video of myself here, I have a pretty new laptop and I never streamed before with that laptop, and I just realized that I don't even have a webcam, so no face of mine today, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to distract you from the action. So we're still waiting for Joe to join. So for the format, it's the event 4. And I played Joe in round 5 of that 4th event. It looked pretty good for me the whole game, but then I messed up, and yeah, also some unlucky draws, and maybe he got also a little bit lucky for probing my system when I played Hidden Base. And the first system he probed was the real one. So yeah, so here's game 6 with 5-0, and Near Noob is also 5-0. But we have another 5-0. Paul Todd Feldman also 5-0. So we maybe will have a final showdown game when Paul also wins his last game. I think he's playing against Leverandon, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not quite sure. So there we go. We have Bring Him Before Me against the Throne Room TRM. So I talked a little bit with Joe before. Bring Him Before Me was one of the decks he expected him to play, but we will see which version he's going to play. And Joe is playing TRM with a starting interrupt that he gets either one battleground side, or if it's a side with this diamond symbol, he gets 2 of those. And those sides, one of those can pull a creature, which then deletes the dark side icon. So he will do that right away, turn 1 probably, and then we will see the activation of Chris go down to 4. But of course, he takes a little bit of time to verify his deck. So this indicates also that he plays a lot of Twixes in that version. So there is the other TRM version where you start like Insurrection and the effect which makes your docking base +2 activation, or the version with a lot of Twixes. You not running, I don't think you run any battleground system or side, maybe Castle if you want to get a big drain later on, but yeah, there are also versions with not a single battleground at all. But you can always make one of your sides here to a battleground if you go there with your character and just move over the creature or just kill it. Dark side, pretty standard. Imperial Arrest Order to pull the docking base, mobilization points to get a system, and to make your docking bay activation +1 or 2 if you control it. And then here, the secret plans. to make him pay for the retrieval. He might have expected. Joe has a pretty interesting build where he retrieves a lot with harvest. Maybe expected that. I wonder how many senses Joe runs. We could see a old school sense war. No, there is no try here. And Bring Before Me also can run a lot of sense. So this Docking Bane now gives 3 activation because of the mobilization points, because he controls it. So the tricky thing is, Luke is, with Obi, your best character. But you can't really come down with Luke until Vader is somewhere, because he will just capture Luke and go to the side of Luke. So what he could do is, he could, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. He could go with Luke to his side here. And then, if Vader went to a battleground side, he just moves over with this creature. And then your side becomes a battleground side, and then he doesn't get the damage from the Bring Before Me objective. And since there is no battle plan or no coward, is there a coward in this format? I think there is. He can still drain here for 1 with the lightsaber. I think. But it's a little bit risky, because he could come down to this side now with Vader and just move over. So I probably would have waited a little bit longer until I found my second, how are they called? Nudie? Nudie? Something like that. The only way out here I would see is if he buries the Vader, and then at his move phase he plays Arius Herald and moves here, because he can only do it in the move phase because of that here. So probably a good sense. He paid 4 for nothing with a Monarch. TRM runs a lot of multiples, a lot of senses, alters, yeah, a lot of the same characters. And maybe that was the reason why he went down in the first place so early, because he was afraid of it. And Chris just draws up to 11. It's sometimes a little bit risky to train at exterior sides, because always think about your stomach is a thing in that format. But on the other hand, he probably has another sense. So yeah. Ooh, that's risky, losing Vader from hand. He could play something like Out of Commission, and if he puts Vader out of play, it's basically GG. In this format, there is no real counter to Honor of the Jedi except of occupying 3 battlegrounds. If we go to the Jabba Palace Seal deck, so a little bit, yeah, more recent, but I think not much later than That's the two. There is no escape, which cancels a lot of what Honor of the Cheddar is doing. Yeah, the creature attacks all the time, but it doesn't get defeated until you decide to attack the creature. So so the dark side needs to find a way to make some damage now. If they play spies, they could go here and then deploy Vader there. If not, they could only Docking Bay Transit Palpatine, maybe find the other character which adds to drain with Palpatine. But yeah, they have to do something because Lightside is just okay with. He drew up to 17, so he's not even afraid of Grimtar. He already sensed one. He probably has 5, 6, another sense. He's not gonna lose a sense war. That is a nice tech. So I don't think anyone would have expected that he's playing the Jarvan 4 Docking Bay. And I don't think Joe is playing more than 2 of these nudies. So yeah, we could see Vader coming down here, moving over to Luke and grabbing Luke. And then Vader could fight all these guys here to make even more battlegrounds if he wants to. I did not see that coming. Much more surprises in those older formats. For 2 reasons. First of all, at least for me, I don't play them too often. I just play them in the Retro League, so there is always something new I can see. And yeah, second of all, in the open meta, you basically know everything which to expect, and every cheese stuff is shielded, so you have an answer for that right under your shields most of the time. So yeah, it's fun. The Retro League is one of the most fun leagues I'm playing in. It's so nice and so well received. So many players. So Chris is taking his time. 39 minutes. Does he have? I don't know why he verifies his decks. He already got the pull, but maybe he forgot but didn't he lose Vader from hand? So he must have a second one, or did he lose from the top of reserve deck? So let's check that real fast. Vader from hand. So he has to have another one. He lost that from hand. Okay, he wants the discount, so he deploys here and then probably Docking Bay Transits here, but then he won't be able to capture Luke now, and Luke can move over to this side to at least have another round and might be even able to fight against Vader and kill him, but we will see. If he would have grabbed him right away, it's also risky because probably Chris thought, man, Joe has 17 cards in hand. He has to have something. I better get there prepared. And this 3 characters or 2, yeah, hard to beat. Not quite sure why he left Emperor there. Probably for the activation. But could have also docking bread. Then he opens himself up for a beatdown. So yeah, maybe that's a safer way. Yeah, I can see that. Sometimes I play too risky, so yeah. If Joe is playing the light side version of Stomach, he could cancel the force drain here because it's not a mobile side. And he has enough sense to sense the sense. And if he makes Vader missing, that would be really bad. But he decides to go down for the beatdown. Oh, Elam. That is funny. It's a lot of power. So, if he has a force lightning, so if he would have grabbed it right when Joe activated, I mean, you can't know that. But then he would have had it in his hand to force lightning the spy right away when he deployed it. And then, yeah, the whole plan of Joe would have been, yeah. How can I say it? Yeah, he couldn't have went there because then he wouldn't have no presence and would have had to have another spy to go there. And now, because he didn't, if he doesn't have a Gook, we're looking at probably around 10 overflow. He should still use the force lightning against Elam now. Yeah, which he does. So it reduces the power to... Okay. Even if he would have grabbed the force lightning, it would have made no difference. Joe would have just cancelled with his 0, I think. With the castle he drew. Why did he draw a castle? What was the castle destiny? Draws... for careful planning. Okay. Though that's brutal. Sense is so good. No wonder why there are so... yeah, why there are effects against it and shields against it. Interesting. So he loses Obi-Wan because he has probably multiple of those in hand and want to have the Obi-Wan for another beatdown at a different place. If you're so far ahead, it's not the worst in the world to lose Luke to Vader. He probably still moves over to get one more drain with Luke. But you at least ping him for 1 each turn if he has Luke. Normally he would lose, I think, 3 force now from this effect. Yeah, but Honor of the Jedi will reduce it to 1. Because Luke has to occupy a battleground side. So we see it here. So it's reduced by 2. And he lost another Luke. Which makes sense because with even if you lose him to some battle or something like that, you can pull him not only from reserve but also from the lost spy. So It's not even a lost force. So what I wanted to say, normally we would have to be at the battleground side or you lose 3 each turn, but Honor reduces it by 2. So here we see Captain Han Solo lost from reserve deck, which indicates that he plays Falcon. There are different space packages which you could play with tier M, but the most common one is Falcon, and maybe also Attentive. There are Home 1 versions also. That drain of 3 hurt a little bit, but he's so much ahead because of the beatdown. Yeah, that. Did we also say a battle plan? So if he gets out battle plan. Yeah, he drew it for Destiny. Yeah. But he's good with it. He's losing 4 at the moment each turn. 1 from the ping here, 3 from the drain, and he's making 1, 2. He's making only 2 damage. Darkseid maybe has to spread out to increase his damage, but then he opens himself up again for a beatdown, and we saw losing Obi-Wan. So he has probably another one in hand. He could go to the interior side to drain here for 2, which he does. Drain for 3 with Mara Jade's lightsaber. Probably move Vader to the Nucci side. Nudi. Oh man. No, it draws up. Okay. He doesn't even care. Capture Luke. Because he would get pinged. So yeah, it makes sense. So he loses 1 from the drain, or he would lose 1 from the ping. And so he also makes 1 damage from this effect. Definitely makes sense. I wonder which format coward is. Let me check real fast. After that drain. So it's special edition, so you could run it. Because then the drain would be 0 if he gets that effect. Did he lose it from the peeling? He lost it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, he lost. He peeled so fast that I didn't notice it, but yeah, that sucks. It's not running 2, I think. So if I'm Joe, I could think about killing this guy, this creature, to not get pinged by 1. Because there is a buffer zone, or just move over here. That works too. And now he can build up a new hand. He can draw so many cards because he has enough in his reserve. While Chris Ping has to really think about how many cards he wants to draw, because then he doesn't have enough to activate and to operate with. So it's looking very, very good for Joe. And the lost ball count, yeah. paints the same picture. So he put something on the bottom of the use pile, so probably a big destiny. He can't really activate down to the last card, but if he has something to swing with, which I don't think there is one more thing to swing with in that format. Vader and Mara with lightsaber, I think that's it. EBP Boba maybe? But I'm not quite sure if this is another format. But he could... So the bottom card is his big destiny probably. If he activates 13, he can draw another card from reserve deck, but then he's still not there. We will see. Ah, that okay. That's already from the new round where he put another card down. Okay, then we add his big destiny. Yeah, true. When he started to drain, I looked at Honor the Jedi and thought, it doesn't even work, the drain. And yeah, I should have realized it right away when he went over, that not only negates damage from different force loss, but also from drains at non-battleground sites. Still better than nothing, so it reduced by 2. It's a drain of 3, so at least 1 force loss and 2 more there. But in the end, he could have just stayed with Mara here and drained for 3 here, would have made no difference. He probably forgot it. Yeah, I forgot it too in that moment. And those are the moments in a game when you think, oh man, I'm so dumb. Not saying that Chris is dumb, of course. Okay, that's the version Joe expected, the trooper beatdown. So we probably see a trooper assault, but maybe not, because he put in extra forfeit fodder, because Fulham does not much here outside of cancelling a game text from a Elam and making him power 1 instead of power 4. He might just block the drain. Yeah. Hmm. I wonder why he did that. So this is also a drain of 0, it gets reduced from Hana. He might be looking for a beatdown, preparing a beatdown. But I mean, he could have docking pad. So let's see. Docking from here requires 1 force. For 1 force, he could also went there to drain there for 2. I don't get it. Maybe. Yeah. Here's a good reason. If there was an interrupt called Run Vader Run, he initiates here and then moves Vader there and is in the battle like Luke. But not as far as I know. "11 people observing. Nice. Not my stream, but the camp game. The problem here is it might, if he doesn't have many characters, it might be a valid play to go there to then block with Vader to trade 2 for 2. But he's so much behind that doesn't make it doesn't help him. On the other hand, he's so much behind that he probably just tries something. That's brutal. Destiny 3, Destiny 4, Destiny 4 are his 3 lowest. So we are at 11. He has 1, 1, and 2, which is 4. So if he activates to the Never Tell Me the Odds, he loses 7 force. And if he attacks now and forfeits his spy, he loses even more. But this battle is probably enough to end the game. He's down by 12. There is no trooper assault. Down by 12. His guys probably all have forfeit 5. I don't want to check before the destiny is drawn. Ooh. So now he could use Takeel to switch the destiny. That would be fun. So 5, 5, 3. It's 3 overflow. 2 overflow. That's why I don't teach math. And now imagine he peels and peels the Never Tell Me the Odds. Very clever of Joe, moving his creature over, making this a non-battleground site. So he loses no force from Frost Drain this turn. Because of the Honor of the Jedi. It's a really annoying card. If you play something like TTO, you have to play around it and play maybe a Spaceport Docking Bay to have another. Chris says GG, congrats. So 6-0 to Joe. And he's facing off in the final showdown either against Paul Todd Feldman, or if Paul loses, he doesn't need to play a Game 7, he just won the event. So congrats to Joe, and thanks for watching. And yeah, it was a fun game. So see you later.